right?
Well, if you have anything left, was that the type of challenge you made because you got 2 timeouts and you might as well, or was there a deep conviction as soon as you saw that and turned to the bench that you knew you had?
No, it wasn't a deep conviction, but I trusted Jimmy. You've obviously been through this a lot of different times, and you have to earn a level of trust with guys. Jimmy usually doesn't look over to the bench and give me the signal. I always laugh when people are like telling me to challenge something in the first quarter, and really at that point, it could be a very big momentum swing. So he and Kyle both, looked over. I was waiting, to see from the bench, but couldn't really tell. So just kind of went on a leap of faith. Unfortunately, it turned out, for us.
How big was the bench tonight, just winning those minutes when they were out there?
Yeah, this is we want to just stack good days. That's the whole thing. Right now, how many good days can we stack and build on it? We've been working to try to find a flow, with the first unit, and then also with the second unit. They've really been working diligently, to be able to provide like a big time spark, for us, and that's what they did tonight. The entire bench was very inspirational. Gabe had 8 rebounds. He was all over the place. It just shows you how you can really impact winning, in a lot of different ways. I thought he had his fingerprints all over that second half. Duncan was, creating so many like positive triggers for us offensively. And even just the space he was creating, for other guys. Dedmon gave us some really good minutes. I just felt like he had a live body, tonight. I think those extra days really helped him. And Max just continues, to step up and fill a lot of different roles. With Tyler out in the second half, he had to start and play, some bigger minutes there. And I thought he was rock solid as well.
I know it's only the 8th game, but it hasn't been a great start. Guys press and get frustrated when that happens. You're down 10 in the third to a really good team, late in the third to a really good team. How worried are you in these moments, and what I guess where did the confidence come from with this group when things haven't been going well?
Yeah, there's
and weren't
not
going well in that moment.
Yeah, I don't think there's necessarily confidence, Tim. I think you have to go through it. That's where you develop confidence. You develop a grit. You develop some mental toughness, that collective resolve. And the only way to really develop that is to go through it, to have the frustrating moments, to come together. I thought there was a lot of good dialogue, guys holding each other accountable, speaking eye to eye what we really needed, during the course of the game, and finding solutions. So you want to use all these experiences to steel yourself and develop some of that grit.
Tyler Hero on that play, and I know he was sort of questionable at halftime. Can you take us through the process of when you knew you were without him? And honestly, with the game tomorrow, prognosis may be going ahead.
I don't know right now. He looked better now than he did when he was walking off the court. It wasn't that he got crushed on the skull. It's just he got hit in his eye, and so that puffed up immediately. And he couldn't see out of that eye. He was using the halftime to see if he could get back out there, and the trainers really decided hey, let's not to jump the gun so early in the season on this. And so we'll just see how he feels tomorrow. After the game in the locker room, he looked better, but we'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Spo, in a game when there's so many elite shooters, when you have a night like that from Duncan Robinson to kind of show, once again, he's just one of the best shooters on the planet, what does that just do for you guys to show how dangerous he can be?
I mean, Jimmy will probably say, hey, I shot 7 threes tonight. I'm the shooter. I'm the one that's creating the space for Duncan's drives. Duncan is so ignitable, and regardless of whether he's knocking down shots, he has that reputation that everybody on the opposing bench is screaming, and always like trying to call out where he is and what kind of actions he does. He has a great feel and nuance for how to set screens or how to get behind the defense where they don't see him, or how to run to the ball to create an action, an overreaction. And he's been steady. This is not easy, for any of these guys as we're trying to figure this all out. But he has incredible grit and perseverance. Nothing that happens will affect his approach the next day. He just comes in every single day working at it, and those minutes were so important. I think he was a plus almost 20 in the game. And you're playing against a team like Golden State where they have shooters all over the place. Well, you need to fight shooters with shooters as well.
Maybe it's because Duncan was out there more, but it seemed like there were more handoffs today. How important was that in getting, reaching the 43 mark tonight?
Yeah, there's a lot of different factors to that. I think there's a little bit more poise during middle of possessions when we could cough up some maybe quick shots or ill-advised shots where we don't know where that could turn into something else. Jimmy getting quite a few attempts up helps. Those guys launching them. But I thought all of it was kind of in our strength zones. We also were getting into the paint, getting to the rim, attacking. That's first and foremost for us. It's a symbiotic relationship, but we have to be assertive. We have to be aggressive, getting into the paint first. But all those guys were ready. We had some really good possessions in that second half where there was extra ball movement, driving kicks, and finding the good to great shot.
Jimmy on the two decisive plays, were those necessarily calls for Jimmy, or was that just sort of Jimmy being Jimmy, get the ball?
Yeah, the other actions we were trying to get, some kind of trigger, with him and a screen with Duncan at first, and then it was with Gabe, to see if we could shake him free on a mismatch. And then, that last one, that's just Jimmy creating something out of nothing. That's basically everybody just giving him space. We got a pick and roll, and he got to his spot and just elevated and hit a big-time clutch, jumper. It's one thing to be up 5 against Golden State. If you're up 3, you're not relaxing at all.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Open, guys.